Alright, so I know you saw this video title and you were just like, bro, what the hell is this guy yapping about? Julian and Todo, what is he on about? But people, just bear with me because I think we've got like a really interesting idea here. So just hear me out. What's up, crew? It's your Captain Boorex back again with another video, and today we are going to be talking about the young legend Julian Loki and his current philosophy/strategies on the pitch, and how they give me similar vibes to one of my favorite characters from Jujutsu Kaisen, Todo Aoi. Let's start off by talking about some background on Julian Loki. Loki is the youngest world-class professional soccer player in Blue Lock right now. At the age of 17, he's already a top-tier player in the world, and he's so good that Ego actually invited him to come play on the World 5 team against the Blue Lockers for one of their selection stages. Seeing one of our first interactions with Julian, we see that he's actually like a really nice kid, you know? He's telling Isagi, he's like, hey, sorry about those guys because the adults are making fun of them. He's like, don't worry about them, they mean well. Let's just have a good match. But Isagi was like, wow, he's super nice, he's my age, but for some reason I can tell that he's not scared of us at all. And I mean, why would he be? He literally looked Isagi dead in his face and he said, are you good with this, dog? I'm deadass about to clip you right now. Then, of course, he goes on to show everyone why they call him the God Sprinter. The next time we see Julian Loki is when Ego is cooking up the Neo-Egoist League idea, and Loki is named the coach of the France Stratum, or the team that we know now as PXG. Considering that France is the current country for newcomers to kind of find their way in the soccer world, and the fact that Julian is the only coach that every single Blue Locker has played at some point, he's able to harbor a pretty good group of talent from Blue Lock and U20. One thing that he's been able to do with his coaching is get Itoshi Ren in the #1 spot with a current contract offer of 180 million yen. But the real question is, how is he doing that? What is his philosophy? What is he teaching the boys that decided to join his team? In this most recent chapter, I think we got a small glimpse of just what Julian has been up to with PXG. The game starts off with familiar faces in that formation like Rin, Nanase, and Tokimitsu, and we even see Choppa, who people are currently theorizing is a member of the new Gen 11. The attack starts off with Rin heading it up, and he's going up against Bachira and Otoya, while at the same time you have Nanase and Tokimitsu calling for him and saying, hey, look, Rin, we're here, we got your back if you need our support. He kicks the ball off to Nanase, who then shoots right to Tokimitsu, who's busy holding off Bachira, and they're able to create some big space with this play. The ball then sails off to a #6 player who we don't know anything about, really. We now see that this player's name is Charles, and he sends this ball on a line pass right into Rin's lap. This pass leads to a fantastic assist for an easy Itoshi Ren goal, and PXG takes the first point in this match. Well, that's settled, right? Itoshi Ren just gonna go on and get another hat trick for PXG, right? Wrong, actually. At this point, Coach Loki actually calls for a substitution change, which, by the way, according to the NEL rules, is completely and entirely allowed because you're allowed to make unlimited substitutions at any time. Loki is just actually the only coach that's been doing that. Seeing this leads me to believe that we have gotten a small peek at a small part of Loki's philosophy, at least, which is probably something like this. Everyone has their own turn. Being 17 years old and standing on the top of the soccer world has probably given Loki some perspective into the pressure and expectation that these Blue Lockers have. Being able to relate to that, he more than likely wants to play his part as a mentor to these players and getting all of them some playing times in front of these clubs so that they can receive some sort of contract offer. This philosophy has already led to somebody like Nanase, who isn't necessarily a high-tier Blue Locker, to actually get an offer from a club. To snap back to the present, who does Loki call in for the substitution other than Shido? That's the first one. In addition to Shido, Loki also subs in Karasu and Zantetsu, who are two Blue Lockers that we know and love. This gives us a new, fresh formation with Shido now as the head of it. Isagi, knowing all these players, was the first one to comment to say they did a wholesale change. This is a completely different system than what they just had a second ago. We have our favorite crow Karasu, who just slide tackles the crap out of Otoya, who obviously hates this. And then he gets the ball right out to Zantetsu, who's showing off that good acceleration that we all know. Isagi gives us a pretty good breakdown in saying that this is a counter-attacking style trio at this point, right? And then they give it right off to that man #6, who shoots off a crazy looking pass to Shido. So crazy that people are like, oh, too fast, can't even do it. But that man Shido just simply gives a skull emoji, and what is he going to do with this ball? Well, If you know Blue Lock, then you know Shido Ryusei, and you know that he is one of the best, if honestly not the best, at putting that ball in the back of the net. While everyone is impressed with Shido's goal, as they should be, and with the fact that PXG has essentially two systems that they can go through, our metavisioners realize something else. The reason that these two systems can coexist and both work is because of this number 6 guy and the beautiful passes that he dishes out. Does that remind you of anyone else that we may have possibly met before? But before we dive into our new friend Charles Chavalier, I want to talk about why I included Todo in this video in the first place, and to do that we need to step back a couple panels to the substitutions. I mentioned this before, but we have Isagi noticing the substitutions and saying that this is an entirely different system. Why is that significant? It's significant because in soccer or a fight or other sports, anything that's competitive, somebody making a change requires the other opponent to adjust. But how the hell are you supposed to adjust in such a short amount of time? That's the key thing behind PXG's philosophy currently, and it's also the key behind Todo Aoi's curse technique in Jujutsu Kaisen. So what is Todo's curse technique? Todo's technique is something that he's dubbed Boogie Woogie. Boogie Woogie is an ability that allows Todo to swap places with objects simply by clapping his hands. It sounds simple, but the same person that said it sounded simple ended up like this. Straight cooked. How did they end up like this, you ask? Well, let's take a look and see. Since this is a Blue Lock video, I'll try to keep my explanation relatively short, but I do think that you guys will enjoy it at least, so tag along with me. Todo by himself is a pretty good one-on-one fighter, but his technique is really able to shine when he has somebody that's basically running duos with him or somebody that he's fighting with. This fact gets essentially tripled when it's someone that he knows really well or he's able to sync up with, in addition to that person being a very strong fighter, pretty much on par with Todo himself. And that's realistically the answer to why he's able to have these high-grade curses in such a whirlpool, because he has someone that's super strong, that's syncing up right with him, and he's able to use his ability to its highest potential. Hanami remarks on how the difference in their body size is starting to affect their judgment. Like, switching out like this is really a big deal in instant moments where people have to try to adjust. Therefore, Todo and Itadori being able to cook is the same principle as Itoshi Rin and Shido Ryusei being able to cook on PXG, and the fact that Julian has been able to take advantage of these two and their different strengths has been incredible. He's killing it right now as a coach. However, I would be wildin' if I didn't at least pay some sort of respect or at least talk a small bit about the man number 6, Charles Chavalier, and the reason that this Shido x Itoshi Rin duo run is even working at all. So I mean, we've already seen this guy serve up 2 crazy balls to Shido and Itoshi. To think that he won't be integral in this final game against BM is insane. And it's also, at this point, I think it's crazy not to say that he's a new Gen 11, maybe even over Choppa. I really like what Charles is doing right now on the pitch. Here's an interesting fact for people. Charles Chavalier is actually named after a French optician. If you don't know what an optician is, it's someone that examines people's eyes and then also makes like eyeglass wear and glasses for people. So, I mean, are we thinking that Charles Chavalier probably has metavision or even some type of vision that we have not seen before yet? It's definitely possible. Let me know what you guys think, but I mean, despite, what he has or what he doesn't have, Charles is someone that is going to absolutely need to be countered in this upcoming PXG versus BM game. I hope you guys have enjoyed, listening to me talk about Julian Loki clapping his hands and using his curse technique to sub in our boys, to getting to know our friend Todo from a different anime a little bit better, and then also talking about our new guy, Charles Chavalier. With that, I'll be taking this video to a close, and I just want to thank you guys so much for the love that you guys have showed me. I love the support. I really do appreciate it. And Happy New Year. We are going to be talking a lot more this new year. I'll be trying to drop a lot more consistently. So again, thank you guys so much. It's so much love, and be safe, and I will talk to you soon.